So we have a Volvo VNL. Today while driving we had a really bad air leak right here at those valves. I could hear, and I was starting losing the air a little bit. The air compressor were pumping all the time. So as you can hear, when we are releasing the truck parking brake, the air keep coming out from those valves. This can be caused by a bad brake chamber. So to figure out which brake chamber is bad, we park the truck, we set something under the wheels so the truck will not roll. We release the parking brakes on the truck, and when we are coming to the rear axle, we can hear the bad air leak from this brake chamber. So we will start replacing it. So those are the tools what you need to replace a brake chamber on a semi truck. You need an adjustable wrench or a 24mm wrench, depends what you have. You need an 18mm wrench for the air hose. You need those clippers to help remove those pins from the brake chamber. Also you need a couple sockets. The 24mm sockets are for those nuts to unscrew and remove the brake chamber. We have the 19mm socket. It's for this bolt over here to remove and help to remove the brake chamber. And 14mm socket, it's to release this ring so we could twist the brake chamber, so we could adjust the position of the hoses. Also we need some tape to put on the air hoses so we will not have any air leaks. And already power tools, those are optional. You can use a regular ratchet instead of power tools. So let's do it. So first of all, we need to remove this bolt from over here using the 19mm socket and unscrew the nut over here on the other side. We're removing it, and we'll put in this hole. We kind of have to feel the end of the hole, and you need to find the right place inside, like screwing, and when it's in the right position, the bolt will go even deeper, and you kind of twist it. Now put a washer and the nut, and screw the nut all the way until the brakes are released. This is one way. In case the brake chamber is getting bad, you put this bolt and you are releasing the brake pads, and you can drive all the way to the shop where somebody can replace your brake chamber if you don't have a spare one. Looks like our socket is not long enough, so we will be using the wrench to screw more the nut. We need to screw it all the way until the brakes are released. Next step, after we put this bolt, we have to unscrew the hoses. Make sure you unscrew the hoses before removing the brake chamber, because this is much easier. So to unscrew the hoses, you kind of have to hold this part of the hose and unscrew the nut, so the hose will not twist, because when you twist the hose you can damage the hose, and that's not good. So next step, we will gonna remove those two pins so we can detach the slack adjuster from the brake chamber. After we remove those two pins, we need to change the position of the slack adjuster. For this, there are many kinds of slack adjusters. Sometimes you can use just a wrench and a socket, like 11 millimeters or 13 millimeters. In our case, we use a socket 11 by 32, and we insert it on the bolt over here on the top of the slack adjuster. Also, you need kind of like this tool and release the pin here on the side, and now you have to turn. You have to figure out which direction. After we change the position of the slack adjuster, we have more access to this nut to remove the brake chamber. So we removed the old brake chamber. It looks pretty rusty. This is a new one. If one of the brake chamber is getting bad, it's better just to replace all of them, because one by one all of them will get bad. So to prevent more expenses replacing on the road, just better to replace all of them once. So we will get our new brake chamber ready to install. So when we're putting back the new air brake chamber, make sure over here you put in the right holes, because there are two positions. So from what position you are removing the brake chamber, make sure you put them back in the same position. Now we will tighten the nuts. After we install the brake chamber, we have to install the hoses. But as you can see, the fittings goes this way. We can install the hoses just like this, but if you install them like this, it's a big risk. So those fittings will be exposed to the objects what are on the road. So it will be better just to twist a little bit the half of the brake chamber, so the fittings will go up. That's more safe. To twist the brake chamber, we will there are two ways to twist the brake chamber. First one is to put bolt inside the hole, releasing the pressure from the spring inside the brake chamber, and then release a little bit those bolts, and the brake chamber will twist. The second way to do it is just to hook those two hoses, release the brake, the parking brake from the cap, and the air automatically will take the pressure from the spring inside the brake chamber, and we will be able to twist a little bit the brake chamber. We installed the hoses. Now we will go on the cab and release the parking brake on the truck. Alright, so to twist the this half of the brake chamber, we have to release a little bit those bolts, those two bolts, but not at all, not all the way, just a little bit, until you feel that they're released. Alright, so we are done installing the brake chamber. Now we have to connect the slack adjuster to the brake chamber. For this, we rotate this bolt on top of the slack adjuster on opposite way that we did when we released. And now we just turn all the way until the holes match. Make sure you do a brake adjustment. To do a brake adjustment, you have to have the parking brake released, full air tanks, and the slack adjuster installing like this, taking this socket and tightening this bolt and brakes all the way as hard as you can. After you tightening the brake all the way, you change the direction of the range and just 90 degrees or 15 minutes release. Now you have your brake adjusted. Also, an important thing, after replacing the brake chamber, you make sure this bolt over here, you put it on the way, because sometimes from the vibration this nut over here can unscrew and the bolt fell off because it's on the, as you can see, from the vibration can fell off. The worst thing, you can like break a tire or flew on somebody's windshield. So reversing this bolt over here, putting like this, you don't risk the bolt fell off. So even if the nut from the other side screws off, the bolt still remains on this place.